We're coming to you live from Con Expo 2020. I'm Diana Henry along with Tom Doyle from ARA. Tom, thanks for joining me.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about ARA Rental Works.
Sure, thanks. I think before we get into the Rental Works, what predated that or what developed from ARA Rental Works was in 2019, we went back to our members and said, what's the number one initiative we have in our industry, in the rental industry? And across the board, large and small members from either the rental company standpoint or from the supplier standpoint to the rental companies said workforce development. They had issues in the fact that both sides of the aisle and the rental aisle were growing. And there were a lot of retirements coming out of that, so they needed to grow the workforce and replenish the workforce. So it became our number one initiative. So we decided we've got to do something with that. And we spent 5 or 6 months interviewing, surveying members, and developing a workforce development strategy. Our marketing department came up with this ARA Rental Works campaign. And really what we did then is launch the first initiative in February in Orlando at the annual ARA Show.
And the response, what has it been?
Well, the response has been pretty good. Actually, it's been very positive. What we did is day one, or on February 11th, we brought in a bunch of the educators and influencers from across the country, as well as 3 local schools, technical schools, to develop really what the strategy is for us going forward. The next day then we invited those same people, as well as 300 technical trade students from 3 different colleges in that area, to bring back some awareness of really what the rental industry is and what it's going to become and the job opportunities that are available. So from all areas of input, it was positive.
That's good news. Talk a little about the elements. What are the elements of this initiative?
Well, so what we looked at is trying to figure out how do we help attract and recruit people into this business. The rental business has been around, ARA has been around since 1955, so it's not a new association, it's certainly not a new industry, but the awareness doesn't seem to fit that way. There is a real call for more awareness about really what the rental industry is. So that's another big part of this initiative. So we want to help our members recruit, attract, but then also onboard or retain the employees once they get on board.
Yeah, that's key, right?
Yes.
Spend a lot of time and money trying to train people and then they leave.
And that's it. So we want to, once we get them in, we want to keep them as well. So that's a major initiative. That's really the genesis of what's happened. And so far, it's been positive feedback. That was the first event that we have done of anything of that nature. So had a little bit of question marks going in, but all good so far.
Wonderful. Career opportunities, what are those like in the rental industry?
Great question. So when we surveyed our members, really came back, the number one requirement right now is equipment technicians. So again, that was the focus at the ARA show for those 2 days, was on the equipment technicians. A close second was CDL drivers. A lot of industries are looking for both those 2 jobs or those people, but that was our number 2. And then number 3, we also represent the event industry, and on that side of it, they just need more laborers, more tent installers to get the work done. A lot of the business now is going towards rental, so on both the equipment and event side, a real need for just more growth in the workforce. Let's
talk a little bit about the benefits of working in this industry.
Well, one of the things we found out is that, being a well-kept secret, we went back and asked people, once we told them about this, what do you think? And they said, well, we love a couple things. One, we love the fact that rental companies are situated throughout the U.S. and Canada. That's primarily our focus right now. So they can have a geographical diversity. They can go from any city, really, across the United States and up in Canada, and have a rental job and then a career. So if they want to stay in a geographic area, great. If they want to switch and go to a different area, there's a rental company in that area. So that was a big one. The second one is the opportunity to grow into a career from a job. So there was a lot of entry-level jobs that will end up into a nice career, and the compensation and benefits are pretty attractive.
That's a great distinction, right? Not just a job, it's a career as well.
Definitely, definitely.
Does it differ from military versus the younger generation?
I think it's a great question. We're not targeting any specific group, but we are certainly going after some of the younger group to let them know that this is an opportunity. And we have found that the military do provide a solid training background for our type of work. So we are looking at kind of focusing on those 2 without excluding others.
Yeah. How do you see it evolving over time? Because you're really just kind of dipping your toes into the water right now with coming off of the February event.
It is. So while the industry and our members have been looking for members, it's ARA's first foray into looking at how we can help our members grow. So we see it evolving into the continuation of this microsite, this ARA rentalworks.com, which you can go back in and look at all the best practices now. You can look at job descriptions, both written and through video. And we are going to start launching for the first time, in ARA standpoint, a job and career fairs across the U.S. We're going to participate more in the ones that exist today and start doing our own. So a couple new and exciting initiatives to kind of make this whole thing work.
Well, thanks for being a resource out there, because it's really important. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of the show.
Thanks very much. Thanks for your time.